thought, studying the two hearts flanking Clarence's name. They're just like us. By the time I visited Hartsdale, I'd already had a long personal history with pet cemeteries. In fact, I went to high school next to one. My school was of the New England prep variety, with facilities better than those at many colleges, on a gorgeous green campus in Dedham, a suburb southwest of Boston. This was the sort of school that carefully curated its image, boasting of athletic alumni competing in the Olympics, generations of legacy students, high SAT scores, and extremely competitive Ivy League acceptance rates. Less present in its marketing materials, that the school is located next to several thousand dead animals, buried in the Animal Rescue League of Boston's Pine Ridge Pet Cemetery. Pine Ridge was the first official pet cemetery I knew of, but there are more than 700 of them scattered throughout the country. By the time I was 14 and first saw Pine Ridge, I'd already loved and lost many companion animals. I also love to read, and frankly, young adult literature is full of dead pets. I remember that awful dread as the number of pages shrank in each new animal book I read, writes Helen MacDonald in her memoir, H is for Hawk. I knew what would happen, and it happened every time. What happens in Old Yeller? The dog dies. In Where the Red Fern Grows, 2 dogs die. The Red Pony, the pony dies. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing, the turtle dies. I could go on. When we open our hearts to animals, death is the inevitable price. Jake Maynard, in his essay Rattled, The Recklessness of Loving a Dog, writes that loving an animal is mortgaging future heartbreak against a decade or so of camaraderie. Matthew Gilbert, in his memoir Off the Leash, A Year at the Dog Park, writes, in the course of an average human lifetime, pots and pans and couches and lamps stay with us for longer stretches of time. Even beloved T-shirts survive the decades. The silk-screened album images and tour dates wrinkled and cracked, but still holding on. With a dog, you're on a fast train to heartache. Yet people keep getting pets. As of the writing of this, 67% of American households, 84.9 million homes, own some sort of pet, according to the American Pet Products Association. And yet, despite those millions of pet owners all over the globe, and despite the inevitable loss that comes with that relationship, the ways people grieve a dead pet aren't always taken very seriously. Imagine Mariah canceling a world tour due to a death in the family. If her mother died, of course people would understand, without question. She would get cards and flowers. Fans would send encouraging, sympathetic messages. But if Mariah put off a tour to mourn for her cat Clarence, some fans would get it, I'm sure, but she would also certainly become the butt of thousands of jokes on social media. Fiona Apple actually did postpone her South American tour in 2012 to spend more time with her dying pit bull Janet, publishing a handwritten note explaining her reasoning to fans on her Facebook page. Apple would later play percussion using Janet's bones in a song on her album Fetch the Bolt Cutters. Thousands of fans wrote supportive messages. It seems on brand that Fiona Apple fans would get it. But there were also ugly comments the moderators had to delete. Pets don't live very long. They're going to die. What were you expecting? Taking time off from work to grieve for your pet as you would for a human. Some say that's too much. In this way, grieving pets is a disenfranchised grief, which can make it hard to know how to process and honor it. But there's freedom in that too. With social acceptance comes social standards and expectations. The human funerals I've been to run together in my mind. I grew up in an Italian-Irish Catholic household in Massachusetts. So to me, the death of a person meant the same open casket, the same Bible verses, the same laminated prayer cards and stiff black clothes, the same taste of funeral home lifesavers, the overpowering scent of daylilies, the post-funeral deli sandwiches. Different cultures have different traditions, but every culture typically does have its own set of mourning rituals. For humans, the rituals may feel tedious and repetitive at times, but they also offer stability and closure. There is comfort in the expectedness. Even in the spiritual, not religious memorial services I've been to, I see